Okay, I am not sure what happened, but my video just stopped recording all of a sudden and ended, so I'm having to start with where we left off. We were on that last sentence in Think A on page 120. So let's just continue on. We just read, no matter where people look, the Australia Zoo is full of places to enjoy interesting animals. And I think that we had already said the word people was a common noun, so you should be underlining it. All right, next noun would have been one we already saw previously in this story, and that was Australia Zoo. Australia Zoo is proper, so you need to circle it. And we've also talked about Australia Zoo is made up of two words, so it is compound, so you also need to box it. So you need to do two things to it. All right, what is the next noun? Places. Remember, a noun is a name of a person, place, or thing, so the word place is a noun. And it's common because it's just not particular, it's just any person, place, or thing. Not even capitalized, so underline it. And the last one would be one we've seen already, animals. Very good. And again, it's just common. Not capitalized, so just underline it. All right, that brings us to the next section. And in this section, we're going to underline each verb 2 times. We need to watch for action verbs, verb phrases, where there's more than one, maybe a helping verb and an action verb. And we need to watch for non-action verbs. Okay, but we're going to underline anything 2 times. Every verb, whether it's a action verb, a verb phrase, or a non-action verb, is getting underlined twice. Some of you seem to think that if it's a non-action verb, you still only underline it once, but that's not what I've ever said. I've already said all verbs get underlined twice. Action verbs, verb phrases, and non-action verbs get underlined twice. So please make sure you're underlining them twice. All right, let's read the first sentence. The first sentence says, the Australia Zoo was home to a very old giant Galapagos land tortoise. All right, so what is the verb? I hope you saw the word was, and right after it was the word home. Can you home? No, home is a noun, okay? So just the word was needs to be underlined twice. That is a non-action verb, okay? Telling us that the Australia Zoo is equal to home. They're the same thing for this tortoise. Australia Zoo, home, is linking them together. All right, Harriet, the tortoise, lived at the zoo for several years. All right, do you see the verb? Hopefully you saw lived. Lived is an action. You can live, right? So underline lived 2 times. Neatly. Please do it neatly. Some of you just scribble down 2 lines and you don't even underline the whole thing, or you end up underlining more than the word. Underline 2 times neatly. All right, next it says Harriet had lived in several places before the zoo. Well, we definitely see the word lived again. But did you notice it had a helper this time? Had. Am, is, are, was, were, had, has, have. That little word had. So had lived this time. 2 times. Had lived. Read number 4 with me. She was over 100 years old. What do you see? Was a non-action verb linking she to 100 years old. Number 5, Harriet had hatched around 1830. All right, what is the action? Hatched, all right? Now, we can't hatch, but birds can, right? And reptiles can, because reptiles come from eggs too, okay? So had hatched. Did you notice that same helper this time is had, just like the last one? So make sure you underline had hatched 2 times. The zoo celebrated Harriet's birthday every November. All right, what's the action in that one? What's the thing you can do? Celebrated, right? Celebrated, right? Underline celebrated 2 times. Number 7, a giant tortoise-shaped cake was eaten by guests. All right, what's the verb here? The only thing you can do in this sentence is eat. So eaten, and it has a helper because we learned that eaten needs a helper. Ends in an N. Was eaten. Underline was eaten. Next one. Harriet ate her favorite treat, red hibiscus flowers. So what's the action here? Ate. Okay? You did it in the past. You ate. Right now you eat. You will eat in the future. And was eaten was what we did in the last sentence. But right now, Harriet ate. Okay? Number 9. Harriet lived over 175 years. Wow. What's the action? Lived. We've already done that one before in the number 2, right? So underline lived twice. Last one. She was the oldest animal living in any zoo. What do you see? Was. Non-action verb was, linking she to oldest animal. All right, now we're going to review a little bit about diagramming. We haven't done that in a little while. Sentences, Levi and Aiden took pictures of the koalas. Where are we going to draw the line to separate? That's the first thing you need to do. Draw the line to separate. Did you say after Aiden? Hopefully, the subject would be Levi, Aiden, and the verb is what? Took. So underline took. The thing you can do in that is took. You can't pictures, you can't koalas, but you took. Okay? Took. So underline took twice, underline Levi once, underline Aiden once. On the rocket ship, top right, Levi. The bottom right, Aiden. And on the other part where the verb goes, write the word took. Levi, Aiden, took. All right, I'm going to pause a moment, give you a moment to do that. All right, if you look at the second sentence, you're going to see it's the other way around. The rocket ship's on the other end. So that means we're going to have 2 verbs, not 2 subjects. If you need to pause this video, go ahead and pause it. Okay. All right, let's read that sentence. Wombats, which we just talked about the other day, wombats hunt and eat at night. We learned. What's that mean? If they hunt and eat at night, they are nocturnal. Very good. Nocturnal. But anyway, what is the place to divide it? Wombats hunt and eat at night. After wombats. Good. And what's your verb? The 2 things that can be done are hunt and eat. Very good. So underline hunt twice. Underline eat twice. And then who hunt, eat? Wombats. So go back to wombats and underline it once. Then on the first line this time, the single line, you're going to write wombats. And then on the rocket ship, first line, hunt. And second line, eat. Very good. All right, go ahead and finish up the rest of this if you did not. And I want you to take a red colored pencil or a red pen, and I want you to make a star at the bottom of the page, right underneath your diagramming. Make a red star. Okay? Thank you. And we'll see you for the next class.